Have you ever felt a sharp, unbearable pain in your side or back, so intense that it makes you freeze in place, barely able to breathe? What if I told you that this pain could be a sign of something as common as kidney stones, and that millions of people experience it every year? In fact, research shows that 1 in 10 people will develop kidney stones in their lifetime. That's over 50 million people in the United States alone. Yet many don't even know they have them until the pain hits. What if you could prevent that from happening to you? Meet John, a 39-year-old software engineer living in Austin, Texas. John had always lived a pretty typical life, working long hours and occasionally indulging in his favorite foods. But one day he felt that sharp pain in his lower back. At first, he brushed it off as a pulled muscle from sitting at his desk for too long. But then, the pain grew more intense, and he started noticing blood in his urine. A quick visit to the doctor confirmed his fears. He had kidney stones. He was shocked. How could something like this happen to him? He wasn't overweight or diabetic, and he drank plenty of water. But kidney stones can affect anyone, and they can form for various reasons, including high oxalate intake, dehydration, and even genetics. What's even more alarming is that kidney stones often don't show symptoms until they're large enough to cause pain. And for many, by the time the symptoms appear, the damage has already begun. Studies show that nearly 50% of people who have had one kidney stone will experience another within 5 to 10 years if they don't make lifestyle changes. In today's video, we'll explore what you can do to prevent kidney stones and manage them naturally, just like John did. We'll dive into the science behind kidney stone formation, explain why certain foods and habits contribute to kidney stone development, and provide actionable solutions that can make a difference in your life. Whether you're currently dealing with kidney stones or want to protect your kidneys from future issues, this video will provide valuable insights you can apply right away. So stay tuned and find out how you can start taking care of your kidneys today without the need for surgery or expensive treatments. You're not alone in this journey, and there's always something you can do to improve your health. Let's get started. John had always considered himself a healthy individual. His friends often joked about how he was always at the gym or preparing healthy meals. But despite all his efforts to stay fit, one thing he never thought about until it hit him unexpectedly was kidney stones. It all started one cold, rainy evening when he felt an unbearable pain in his lower back. At first, he thought it was nothing more than a muscle strain from an intense workout earlier in the week. But when the pain began to radiate down into his groin, his thoughts turned darker. The pain, sharp and persistent, made it almost impossible for him to move. He could barely sit, stand, or even lie down without feeling like someone was stabbing him repeatedly. As the pain intensified, John noticed something else: blood in his urine. He tried to convince himself that it was just temporary, that maybe he had overdone it with the exercise. But deep down, he knew something wasn't right. The next morning, after a sleepless night of agony, John decided to go to the hospital. The doctor confirmed what he feared. John had a kidney stone. Kidney stones, those little crystalline structures that form inside the kidneys, are a common but painful condition that affects millions of people every year. According to the National Kidney Foundation, about 1 in 10 people will have a kidney stone in their lifetime, and about 1 million people in the United States visit the emergency room every year because of them. The fact that John now found himself part of this statistic was a harsh realization. The doctor explained that kidney stones typically form when substances like calcium, oxalate, and uric acid build up in the urine and crystallize. These crystals can then grow into stones, which can range in size from tiny sand-like grains to large, painful rocks. In John's case, the most likely culprit was calcium oxalate, one of the most common types of kidney stones. His doctor further explained that dehydration, poor diet, and genetics were often to blame for stone formation. As John listened to the doctor's explanation, it became clear that his diet and lifestyle had played a significant role in his condition. He had always been health conscious, but he never truly understood the specific factors that could contribute to kidney stones. He learned that certain foods, especially those rich in oxalates, could increase the risk of developing stones. John had often enjoyed foods like spinach, chocolate, and nuts, all of which were high in oxalates. These foods, when consumed in excess, could bind with calcium and form calcium oxalate stones. John's diet wasn't the only culprit, though. His habit of not drinking enough water had also contributed to the formation of his kidney stones. Dehydration leads to concentrated urine, which makes it easier for substances like calcium and oxalates to form crystals. Research has shown that people who are prone to kidney stones often fail to drink enough fluids, especially the water. A study conducted by the National Institutes of Health found that individuals who drank less than the recommended amount of water had a much higher risk of developing kidney stones. For John, the combination of his low water intake and high oxalate foods had likely led to the formation of his stones. But John wasn't one to sit idly by and accept this diagnosis. He was determined to learn as much as he could about kidney stones and find a way to prevent them from coming back. He began his research, diving into scientific studies, health blogs, and even talking to experts in the field. What he learned was both eye-opening and empowering. The first step, John realized, was hydration. His doctor had stressed this point, and the evidence supported it. Drinking enough water, at least 2.5 liters a day, was one of the most effective ways to prevent kidney stones. Hydration helps dilute the substances in urine that can form crystals, reducing the chances of stone formation. John had always known that drinking water was important, but he had never paid much attention to how much he was actually drinking. Armed with this new knowledge, he committed to drinking more water every day and making sure his urine stayed light in color, which was a good indicator that he was properly hydrated. Next, John focused on his diet. He learned that certain foods were more likely to contribute to kidney stone formation than others. As mentioned earlier, high oxalate foods like spinach, nuts, and chocolate could increase the risk of calcium oxalate stones. But John didn't want to eliminate all his favorite foods from his diet. Instead, he found a balanced approach. He started by reducing his intake of high oxalate foods, and when he did eat them, he paired them with calcium-rich foods. For example, if he had a spinach salad, he would add cheese or yogurt, which helped bind the oxalates in the intestines and prevent them from being absorbed into the bloodstream. John also discovered the importance of magnesium. Magnesium is known to help prevent the crystallization of calcium oxalate in the kidneys. In fact, studies have shown that people who consume adequate magnesium have a lower risk of developing kidney stones. Magnesium-rich foods like leafy greens, avocados, and pumpkin seeds became staples in John's diet. He also considered taking a magnesium supplement to further support his kidney health. While diet and hydration were crucial, John learned that probiotics also played a role in preventing kidney stones. Certain strains of probiotics, such as lactobacillus and bifidobacterium, are known to break down oxalates in the gut and prevent them from entering the bloodstream. This was another game changer for John. He began incorporating fermented foods like kefir, sauerkraut, and kimchi into his meals. The beneficial bacteria in these foods helped support his gut health and, in turn, supported his kidneys. John's journey wasn't just about understanding the science behind kidney stones. It was also about making practical changes in his lifestyle. He incorporated more fiber into his diet, which helped regulate his blood sugar levels and supported overall kidney health. He also became more mindful of his sodium intake, as high levels of sodium can lead to calcium loss in the urine and contribute to kidney stone formation. But perhaps the most important change that John made was in his approach to stress and overall well-being. He had always been a workaholic, constantly focused on his career. But as he began to learn more about kidney stones, he realized that stress could exacerbate the condition. Chronic stress has been linked to increased blood pressure and inflammation, both of which can contribute to kidney stone formation. John started practicing mindfulness and relaxation techniques, such as meditation and yoga, to manage his stress levels. As John continued on his journey, he began to feel better. The sharp pains that had once plagued him started to fade, and he no longer experienced the anxiety of waiting for the next stone to strike. He was in control of his health, and he knew that by continuing to follow the steps he had learned, he could prevent kidney stones from recurring. John's story is a powerful reminder that kidney stones, while incredibly painful, are preventable. By staying hydrated, making mindful dietary choices, and supporting gut health, we can significantly reduce our risk of developing kidney stones. John's journey shows that small, consistent changes can lead to lasting health improvements. So, whether you're dealing with kidney stones or simply want to prevent them, Remember that taking control of your health is within your reach. As we wrap up today's discussion, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned about preventing and managing kidney stones. We've explored the science behind kidney stone formation, how dehydration, poor diet, and genetics can lead to the painful crystals that disrupt our lives. But more importantly, we've uncovered simple, actionable solutions to prevent and manage kidney stones in the future. From staying hydrated with at least 2.5 liters of water a day to making mindful dietary choices, increasing magnesium and probiotics intake, and adding stress management practices, these steps can help you take control of your kidney health and live a more comfortable, pain-free life. If you remember anything from today's conversation, let it be this: you have the power to prevent kidney stones. John's story is a powerful reminder of the importance of taking action early. He transformed his health by making small, consistent changes, hydrating properly, eating foods that support kidney health, and managing his stress. With these changes, he was able to eliminate the risk of future kidney stones and significantly improve his quality of life. And if John can do it, so can you. Remember, change is a gradual process. You don't need to be perfect. And every small step you take toward improving your health matters. By drinking more water, eating a balanced diet, and incorporating some of the simple yet powerful habits we've discussed, you'll start noticing improvements in no time. Even the smallest adjustments can make a big difference. So take this knowledge and put it into action. You don't need to wait until you experience pain or discomfort to start taking care of your kidneys. Whether you're at risk of kidney stones, have dealt with them in the past, or just want to make sure you never have to deal with them, the steps we've discussed are here to help. It's never too late to make a change, and the sooner you start, the sooner you'll feel the positive effects. Lastly, I encourage you to share this video with anyone who may benefit from it. Whether they're struggling with kidney stones or simply want to prevent them, this information can help someone in need. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below with any questions or experiences you'd like to share. I'd love to hear how you're incorporating these tips into your own life and any success stories you'd like to share. You're not alone on this journey. We are all here learning and growing together. Let's continue to support one another and keep taking those small, positive steps toward better health. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.